My wife, I can't remember anything. I bought a lot of things from there, so you know, and I had money, so they were just packing. If you have money, you don't look at the price. You just they put, oh, put this, put that, and you ask them, give me a total. They give you the total and you pay. So that's the situation. What about that whatever you're talking about? Did that person come? Who? My wife, the point is that if somebody wants something, you don't, your calling is not what will make him. This is the car you are talking about. You are talking about a car. It's not some fritters and whatever. If somebody wants to buy a car and he has the money, you don't need to call them. They will just come. They will just come. So you don't have to bother. Those who have money, those who have money to buy the car, they will just come and they'll pay without even whatever. When you see people are diddling, it just means that they have got issues. Yeah. But what about what you are talking about during this afternoon? You are talking about that. What about what you're talking about in this afternoon? Did you manage? Microwave. Why? 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 But did you give it?
Yes, I gave it.
Okay. Okay. Okay then. I'm going to start doing that. Okay, bye. So tonight I don't want shifo kulandalanda lero ndefwaya. What I want you to call in and ask questions about anything, and then I'll be responding. You can also make your comments. So today I want more to listen from you, so you can already start calling in and ask questions as you wish. Ask questions as you wish. The number that you are calling is 0763 302207. That's the number that you are calling. You can call in and ask anything or talk about anything. Tomorrow I will come with a big issue which I'm working on. Tomorrow I'm coming with a big issue. I want us to discuss a few things on the mining. Remember, Mupani was just sold. Some other companies some other mines are being sold. So KCM, we have got issues at KCM. We'll discuss that tomorrow. For tonight, basically, I just want to give you time, to call in. You can make any comment about anything. You can ask me anything. I'll be able to respond. How is the load shedding? Somebody just told me yesterday that a number of people these days are failing to log in. We have our first call. I'm taking calls from you tonight. Hello?
Hello, Machama Bwanja, President.
Bwino muli bwanje.
Gibwino. Nifuna chebe ukamba po pavemele makamba. I've been following you also. Nifuna chebe mpege comment chabe. Yes, Mr. President it's not that what you say if I bother, what you say is the truth. It's just that Upnd do not want to listen to the people like you who tell the truth. Yes, because you see, there are people who have failed, and if you look at what they are doing is just failure, and failure cannot be justified in any way.
Whenever
you tell them it's the truth, plain truth, and you see, the truth cannot be substituted with anything else. It's just the truth, plain truth. And you are the people who they do not want. The people who tell them the truth, they just want the people who just praise them. The people who, whatever they are doing, you're just praising them. No, this is this. Yeah, I think we're happy with what you're doing here. This is how it's supposed to be. And those are the people they want. So, not think that maybe what you tell them is not the truth. No, it's the truth. It's just that they do not want people like you who tell them the truth. Everything is messed up. Everything is messed up. From the time they got into power, through rise, it's just messed up. And what you tell them is just the truth. And that's what they do not want. So, when you just continue. Not until these people should just leave power.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you doing, Chilufya?
Fine. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've just got 2 questions for you, and I just want you to explain. The first one is, what is your intake on what the MP from Ambilima did yesterday in Parliament, calling out the President Mulibaufi? What do you say about that? And then second, what made you, because in the past 2 months you were seen to be supporting the president, what changed the U-turn? What made you to say, you know what? Because for me, I knew that that's not who you were, but there was just something behind it, and you were trying to force yourself to support something that you cannot support. So what made you change and you turn to be where you are today? Because that is also going to make you people that follow and listen to you to say, okay, this is what made him do where we are today. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down the questions, then I'll respond later on. Let me just get a pen and a paper so that I can write.
Okay. Okay. So do you want me to rephrase my question, or did you get my question?
I got your question. So I can pick other calls. I can pick other calls.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I got your questions and I'll write them down. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Chilufya. Thank you.
So I will pick some questions, then I'll respond. I will take time to respond. So let me just you can go ahead, my brother. Hello.
Hello. Chilufya mwa bombashan.
Wino fem kwa na bunga wa bombashan.
Nawe wino fe. Olumpa lurife bwino ka.
Yo, lurife bwino na ngula tuli mu machushi.
Mukalamba wandi walishiba ifisumata fisa fye. Fini batayadi. Fise bo fini batayadi. Fisuma fikesa bakalamba mulasa kamana. Batayadi ndefwa ya mbele profya ma comments bafyo ndio umfaba opposition ya watu akwata mcharo. Po ndefwa kuranda sana. Bali pama opposition presidency na ngoma leaders. You know, ngata kwa vyo kuikara panshu kumfuana ili wamweni ati nkara muna ingira mkatika mwishi. Bantu kumie suwe ati nangu mwarifusana na bukwevo nkara munga ingira pa mwishi. Bonse kula boku fuma. Mwaipa yenkala mu. Na mwaipa yenkala mu nga mwashala nga mrefuwe mwashala bakusana. Bantu ninshi ichakuli ya bonse na mchipaya. Chako wachingepa ya bonze pamushi na mchifu. Kuli komenti mo na reverenge abashon tembo balandire mairo. Pali balungu at think fish efota bachitefo bakesa mukupuisha. Bashon tembo balera badaze moment nangube nanga twali babikire poso. Tapale fo benga chitabigozi tabako etepo experience. Tapali. So echo benga chitaba shon tembo kwikatirira kumono omuntu ese abapokele tabeshi byati ba Upnd nangu na bakateka wabo baletina fe balungu bantu kuina tabawini ne genuine so omuntu benga tina fyapa nilungu fye chapwa tapali na umbyo benga tina po wako batitia sapo ka uteko na kabiri kuli wa Upnd yawe ni balungu fe baletina pantu imbi comment bapere yakwe bati na chiberenga mupepe yakwe bati present chechi naba mupata abantu abengi balefu afumepo ero na abantu abengi na bena tabalefu abalungu babwere ubebere fe washon tembo ni wana pantu muchalo ba tayali opinion pofo tuyimona nikonse takuli okutabalelanda pali balungu pantu balishibaki balungu bali tusungire bwino kesa bweshe fintu munomo pako bati bakese shirano mbabu tungulushi wabaite
okay yo na to
balungu batemo
na total lekeni nsande kona ambia makozi na total I don't know. Maybe I can get one more call. Then I respond. There are a number of issues that have come up. So maybe I can get one more call. There is somebody who has been trying to call here. So let me see. Okay. Let me just. Let me respond. Let me respond to these issues that have come up. Okay. Let me pick this call. After this call, I will respond. Then again, I will take other calls. Hello? Yo, twachira shinguluka. Ture shinguluka na ifu mufyalo fyaveni. Ture shinguluka turefwa efya kufuafwaya. Ukoba titulie.
Zunguruka koni first, as we are waiting for the right time. Maybe as we are waiting for many of us to reason so that we can remove this brutal regime. Yes, I just want to say this today because the last time I called, I didn't have enough time. And you know, I want to say this to all the oppositions. I will never identify my oppositions. You know, there are these specifically. I want to beat around the bush. Specifically, people like Tuene Kasunde Mwenda, people like Avena Tonton. You know, the problem now, they think, you know, once they see 10 people not supporting them, they think, you know, they've made it. let them just hold their fire. Let them just be patient. For now, what we want is something serious. We don't want experiment anymore, no. Because 2021, we did an experiment. We said we want someone new. Let's try this person, a new person, and we've seen it. So we don't want to try again someone new again. No, who will come up, who will come again, start solving his problems, his own businesses. No, we want someone with experience, someone that we have seen already. And that person is there. Who is Valongo? Because I have seen, that people like Kasonde Mwenda, that man, he thinks maybe he can win an election. You see, the people like John Tembo, those people are comedians. They think they can win an election. We don't want, comedians, come 2026. No, we want something serious.
Okay, my brother, you have made your point. Thank you. You have made your point. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Robert from Kawamba, sir.
Okay, so Tienga Robert, quickly go ahead and make your comment or ask your question so that I can respond. I want to respond to the number of issues that have already been raised by people here.
Okay, I just want to comment about our current situation. And according to my opinion, people are saying that Lungu should come back. Yes, it might be an alternative. But again, they say history is the foundation of the future. And sometimes we have to learn. And we can't deny that by UPND never failed. By UPND, it's true they have failed. Lungu, in terms of police, I'm a police yalepanga percent is far much better than them. But again, my contribution is that I'm worried. I think in Zambia, as we stand now, somehow we have leadership crisis. We don't have leaders. Because it is very sad and it is very shameful to a country like Zambia to be in a situation whereby the ruling government, the UPND government, is only afraid of PF. Of which the PF Navena, quite alright, yeah, they might bounce back, but the PF Navena, they messed up things. And Mr. Tayali, if you can be honest with yourself, even you, they messed you up. You were persecuted terribly, even you yourself. You were one of the people who experienced the roughness of the UPND.
Of the PF. I think I'm one of those people. For me, I've suffered both Kuliba PF na Kuliba UPND.
Yes.
I don't think there is somebody who has suffered as much as I suffered Muliba PF. And I don't think there is anyone who has suffered as much as I have suffered Muliba UPND. So you are right there, actually. Sana.
No. And now what I'm trying to say is this. UPF might bounce back. But again, that's their school of thought in terms of governing. So, and again, we have a problem where UPND has also failed. UPND has failed. Now, it is very unfortunate to be in a situation. We should have some other potential leaders. I think we should also have some other potential leaders with visions. As it stands now, no one has ever come out at least showing you where you are going. So I think that was my contribution. Mr.
Okay, my brother, let me respond. Thank you very much. So please allow me to talk about a number of issues that have arisen. There is an issue over the member of parliament for what is that? Is it Mambidima? Jean Chisenga. And then we have the issue of why have I changed? Because for the past few months I was supporting UPND. How come I've changed? Then there is an issue of unity of purpose. I mean, things are bad. Why don't we come together and, unite? Then there is an issue of ECL, basically the comments of Sean Tembo. Sean Tembo is saying, I mean, what is Lungu coming to do, which he didn't do, Then, of course, there is the issue of these young politicians and how they perceive elections. Then, of course, I'm not going to pick. I just want to put on silence so that I can respond to these issues. So now, let me start with what do I think about the action of Jean Chisenga. She's a member of parliament for, is it where? Bwengwa na injingira mumutwe because balefo kumtwala ku Bwengwa, so na injingira mumutwe. Anyway, the member of parliament for the Jean Chisenga. What is the constituency is going? You know that thing where you are trying to remember a thing and then the name is just going. Anyway, the point is, let me look here so that it's important that I mention the constituency. Can somebody write it there for me quickly so that I remember? The member of parliament. Tapati ulenta itira kwapa. The member of parliament. Mambirima. Yeah. The member of parliament for Mambirima. The member of parliament for Mambirima. What is my comment? Frankly speaking, for me, that is how it should be. Members of parliament must be able to exercise their right to express themselves. So, for me, I commend the honorable member of Mambirima. I commend her. And I'm very disappointed because today I actually got more details on what the president said. The president, when he was walking towards her, he was upset and he charged towards her and he said, "This is indiscipline. How can you call me a liar?" The president said that. This is indiscipline. But there was nothing indiscipline about the conduct of the member of parliament. If you look at how other members of parliament conduct themselves, including Britain, including the Senate in America, you watch how they grill, their opponents or their opposition. You see how they grill. You see what they say. Now, the problem that we have in this government, they want to turn the members of parliament like school children. They are acting like, like it's a boarding school. And Vanelli Muti, she's a matron who wants to chastise the members of parliament. You cannot be scolding members of parliament, gagging members of parliament. It is wrong. Look at what happens in South Africa. In South Africa, it is even hot. But go even more Britain. Watch what happens, in the House of Commons. What happens there? Watch. There is serious debate here, and people express themselves. But in Parliament here, we want to make it like it's a boarding school where people have to be restricted. So that woman, what she said was very good. She expressed herself. Because in Parliament, you have to speak. You have to say what you think. You have to express yourself. Parliament, and that's why they have been given immunity. In Parliament, they have been given immunity. Why they have been given immunity is because they want them to express themselves. They want them to say whatever they have to say, and not to face the law when they go outside. So that is nothing but the kind of parliament that we should have. Look, In South Africa, a president is told off. Even in Namibia, you know, the former leader, I will share some of the clips so that you see what happens in some of the other countries in terms of parliament. I will share some of these clips tomorrow. I think I will share about 3 or 4, you know, just to show you how members of parliament take on the ruling party, whether it's a minister, whether it's the president, they take them on. But Bahaka in the Ichilema yesterday, on that day, not yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes, it was yesterday. Today is what? Today is Saturday. Bahaka in the Ichilema wali fulwa and went to her, you know, to try and intimidate her, to say that is indiscipline. There is nothing like indiscipline. You are a liar. You are a liar. So, umuntu ngakoba you are a liar. You are a liar. There is nothing indiscipline about it. There is only the truth. And this is what we are suffering. When we tell them the truth, they get upset. They start bringing charges. They start bringing guns to our house. They start breaking into our house. And that is a dictatorship that I've been talking about. And I told you at the beginning, even before Hakainde Hichilema came into power, I used to say that this man is a dictator. I used to say it. Except that PF now which made me at the end of the day say, let Hakainde Hichilema himself go in. Because PF value kulemitwe. And I want you, me I'm aging, when I talk here, I talk so that you people can realize and do something about it. No matter how much you may want to pretend, no matter how much you may want to pretend, including you, a praise singer, Hakainde Hichilema is a ruthless leader. Is a ruthless leader. Look at how many people are patronizing Kumakoti. Kumakoti nipa epidemic center. There is an epidemic, and now this is an epidemic center like Filachiba kuli cholera. Kuli cholera now mumushi, and people are just going there. That is how our courts have become. And then unfortunately, even our courts, you know, you can say no, Waku court, you are hoping for justice. But our courts are compromised. We have very good magistrates and very, very good judges. But this government has taken over everything. They have instilled fear in our magistrates. They have instilled fear in our judges, which is very wrong. And you see, it brings me down to the next question, where my brother, so I think I've answered you, my brother, to say what that member of parliament for Mambirima did, that is how it should be. And I'm encouraging members of parliament that Muiratina, you are voted by the people. Neri Muntu was not voted. Neri Muntu cannot even win an election. She can't win an election. Even she powered, she can't win. She has never won an election. Even in the state council, Neri Muntu, what has she contributed to jurisprudence? What has she contributed? What has she contributed? Tien tumone ama cases wa Neri Muntu Yovachita Act. Where she represented people. The only case that she represented people, Vali Yanendara Mashamanankani, Ishamanankani, Awama Amaritaris, Kachinga Maritaris, Namari trenches. So there is nothing honorable about Vaneri Mutu in terms of law. But because Hakainde Hichilema is in power, he has conferred on her at State Council. State Council Yabu Puba. State Council Yabu Puba Taylor Democrat. We have got senior lawyers. They are not state councils. Number state council as long as you are a press singer, who pay state council. Some of the lawyers that go to that state council. Tapali nama cases over chita handle. Contribute kuli jurisprudence ya mchalo. State council is a recognition kwa but kwena wawomba. Ulimwaume o ulimwanakashi. This is what you have contributed. You have contributed to shape the law of our country. Vanedi mutini case in shiva chitapona nika. Eronga ni parliament. Finish wale chita parliament. Finish. What is she doing? She just acts like the headmistress at a boarding school. She thinks she's the headmistress there. Those people, they were voted by people. They go to parliament representing people, thousands of people, which Vaneri Muti can never convince. She must give them respect. You must give them respect. Intimidate that is indiscipline. That is nonsense. Indiscipline is what you did to go and intimidate her because you are a president. And I know for sure some useless members of parliament will rise on point of order so that she can be punished. But you are turning our country into a dictatorship. That's all you are doing. You are making our country into a dictatorship. And you Zambians have got a responsibility to frown upon this, to reject dictatorship. One time we should be able to protest against Neri Muti. One time we should be able to protest against Vaneri Muti. Because protests are part of democracy. We should start, mobilizing ourselves, and start protesting against some of these dictatorship. I know they will refuse. I know you have confrontation with policies and whatever. But sometimes we must get serious. We must get upset. We should not just continue status quo. No, we should not continue. Anyway, getting back to the question to why did I change? Because I was supporting them. Yes, I was not even saying these things. Frankly speaking, these are politics, and I even said it. I'm a politics. I'm a politics. I've come to learn that principle really doesn't sell in politics. Unfortunately, principle really doesn't sell in politics. And people who are principled, people who follow the Bible. I mean, I'll talk about religion. I'll talk about, Christianity, for example. Because this is what I struggle with myself. Me, I'm quite strong in terms of my religion, in terms of my Christianity. And I strive to be a good person. I strive, to follow some morality, Of course, nakwata my weaknesses and especially kuma skate nakwata problem. But anyway, I try to be, to be a good person, to try and do the right thing. Now, my politics wasangati, if you go with that route, the very people that you are trying to protect, they will stone you and whatever. And then, so one for your point, the first point is that I'm describing the difficulty in politics when you talk about principle and morality. In one situation, for example, there are situations whereby abantu n'abayoko efo balefo ayafie but ifo balefo ayafie. That's what people want. And when you are a politician, it becomes very difficult to really go against the popularity. Because politics is about numbers. Politics is about the majority. So, you went, now, but this is not right. And you're a politician. To come around and say, not this, it's very difficult. I can give you one contentious issue. Is the issue of gayism. The issue of gayism. A lot of people, LGBTQ, a lot of politicians, including Hakainde Hichilema, they do recognize this issue. But Zambia, you accept LGBTQ, you are in problems as a politician. So that's why you see Hakainde Hichilema, Vayako America, no, we are supposed to embrace values. We are supposed to change and whatever. Vaisha Isaku Zambia, Vava Cathedral of the Holy Ghost. No, we are not going to accept gayism. He's not decided. Why? Because of politics. Because popularly, Zambians, issue of LGBTQ is very difficult. But at least for me, I will tell you, Pape, so I will tell you, I will tell you that for me, I believe that there are people who are born differently. Me, I'm going to tell you that. I believe there are people who are born differently and we need to recognize them and we need to respect their rights. But this position, much as I have the courage to say it, how many politicians can say it? How many politicians can come out like that? There are very few. And I know some people denounce me for that. Some people denounce me for that. So you had Shupa Kama politics. So in terms of then Then the other point is also your capacity. Your capacity to do politics. So sometimes you find that you don't have the capacity, you know. You may not even agree with certain people. But because you don't have the capacity, because they are bigger, you accept to say, okay, if you feel not achieve. So like in this case, by Upnd for me. By Upnd, it's not that I believed in whatever nonsense that they are doing, because it's nonsense. What Upnd has been doing is nonsense. But what they did, they came heavy-handed on me. My brother, I hope you are listening, the one who asked this question. My brother, they came heavy-handed on me. Me, I was supporting by Edgar Lungu. And in them, as it is, I was pushing for by Edgar Lungu. I was pushing for a level rapport agenda. If there is a patron of a level rapport agenda, it's me. All these other people, they jumped in and whatever. It's okay. But really, the first person that came out with a level rapport agenda, it's me. Even Kuli Valungu didn't want to come back. It's me who went and planted that in his head. It's me. Valungu Tavalefo, I am a politics. He refused. It's me. I went about 3 times talking to Valungu to say, this is possible. First Vatican, second Vatican, third, language. I just went out, pushed, and it was flambo kumonekatawe. Kanshi kutifia panga sense. That's when Valungu I think kutifia bomba. But really, I started that agenda. Now, as I was pushing for Valungu, it brought pressure to the Upnd. And when the Upnd got that pressure, because Valungu knows, Upnd, they know that really, hakainde ichilema, I mean aba Edgar Lungu tetawine. Hakainde ichilema tetawine. They know that. And why do they know that? They know that because they stole the elections. They stole the election. In spite of the rigging that we did, but this man managed to get 1.8. Because ama elections yaliyokumyewe chinka, Lungu aliwinari ama elections. Because ngamatimu konke, with all these provinces, 7 provinces, akwata 1.8. Elo ukukuside yuko. Haka inde ichilema. Ukwisa akwata 1 million to beat Edgar Lungu. Does that make sense? In 7 provinces, Edgar Lungu won with 100,000 votes. In 3 provinces, Hakainde Ichilema won with 1 million votes. Ma votes ya kuiva. So, Hakainde Ichilema ali shwokoti. Yalama elections ali vire. Mwamfwa. Hakainde Ichilema knows that he stole the elections. So if he stole the elections and then we go again for another election and afiro kuiva, he knows that Edgar Lungu win the elections. If these things, you can argue as much as you want, you can refuse, but facts are there. Hakainde Ichilema knows Edgar Lungu can win an election. So what does the Upnd do? By Upnd, what they did, they came heavy-handed on me. Gave me a number of cases Mdara, such that I started going to court. First nalea 3 days a day, 3 days mu week, 3 days mu week, na 4 days mu week. Sometimes naleta mpa Monday to Friday, nde afiku court. Ama arrest full. I had cases mwana. I was arrested within that short time. Within that short time when I was talking about Alebu, I was arrested 9 times. 9 times I was arrested. So, what do? I had no capacity, and Valungu, then I'm telling you the truth, Valungu did not help me enough. I had lawyers, but lawyers navena valinaka. They were tired because Benjamin Mwiro, for example, because he was like almost every day with me. He was not attending to other cases. Bamwero, every day, he was attending to my cases. So, sometimes you want panga my excuse. Of course, not that very panga my excuse deliberately. You know, they had other clients. So, one for Valiuku, Avena Makebi Zulu, Avena Jonas, Turiuku, and I became powerless. I became exposed. I became exposed. There was one day mdala everybody shirenjingisha kungandata kwali nangu fimo amalai takuli because I was not doing anything. I was not generating any money. Ndimma sells that my wife came to see me. She had nothing at home. There was no food. There was no power. And we had even borrowed in Congo. I felt so bad. After Nafuma, I went kuri balungu. Ndemi shimikira kwedi yachi. Na I went kuri balungu. Na ilisha mone nime. Balungu didn't give me money. Ba esta lungu packed things. Fia munganda. Balonga. Nama vegetables. Vampela. I'm telling you, as I was going home, I felt very bad. I said, is this the situation that I've reached? You know, where I have to go through this. I really felt very bad. I felt very bad, and I had no lawyers. I had no lawyers, really. You know, where you can feel to say, because I'm a lawyers. Ulimukoti, elo wambo kutumina. Kanso mulikuisa. Oh, there is a matter. Oh, okay, let it stand down. Okay, I'll come later. Okay. You know, it was difficult. I was overwhelmed. Next, what came to happen, which really changed my mind, Chris Zumanizimba Vaikat. Valonga Chris Zumanizimba. For nothing, Chris Zumanizimba did nothing. He did nothing. They knew he had not committed any crime. But Bamuikata Bamulonga Chris Zumanizimba, Okumubepeshefia Gassing. He was nowhere. There was nothing. But they just wanted to get him and put him inside. I thought to myself, Apanga Nchenjere, this what has happened to Chris Zumanizimba will happen to me. And the Chris Zumanizimba was inside. He got very little help. Ndefo wa PF mumfuikishe. Ndefo wa PF mumfuikishe. How you can make a person weak. I looked at Chris Zumanizimba. He didn't get enough help. He didn't. That is what turned my mind. I said no. And of course there were people that were talking to me from UPND. They were telling me, Iwe, we want to work with you. Iwe, leave that man. People from State House. I don't want to mention their names. They were talking to me. My wife left. She went to Ethiopia. Because of my shan. And one friend from State House is the one that gave me money to buy a ticket and to go and bring back my wife. After he convinced me to say, come and work with us. And he told me, look, even your wife has left. So just come and work with us. And he organized money. He gave me money to go and bring back my wife. That's how I went and brought my wife. It is a UPND friend, one of my UPND friends from State House who helped me. And I went and I brought my wife. So when I came back, my wife was complaining. My wife is always against this politics. She's against to our parallel. When it comes to politics, my wife, she goes this side, I go this side. If there is a big issue that is a problem between me and my wife, is politics. She really goes the other side, me I go this side. And so, even when I was bringing her back, I was convincing her to say, no, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to be fighting for Alebwererapo. And she clearly told me, you are fighting for Alebwererapo, but this Alebwererapo is just bringing problems for you. What is the point? That's how I left it. And then never fishing car. That's how I said. And when she came back, I had to. But what I did, instead of me being a praise singer, at least I went quiet. There were certain things that I came out, but see, mostly I was quiet. So my brother, that is how I went to UPND. I didn't go to UPND because of it is the pressure that was there and I didn't get enough help. So that is how I said, okay, let me give up. I gave up and I gave myself to UPND. And when I gave myself to UPND, I thought things are now going to be okay. We are going to work together, whatever. And we discussed the cases. I told them, my brothers, me, I want to work with you. But how am I going to work with you when I'm not free in my mind? When every day they are kuma koti whatever. So please na papa tawa UPND. Look into these cases. These cases are political. I've not stolen. The cases that I have are political. They are just political, that's all. And I told my friends, I met a number of people. But I would never mention their names here. But now yes, we discussed these issues up to Baka in the Ichile Mabadi Shive. Because some people that were coming twice were sent by Baka in the Ichile. Now, we not here. How long been Fiawam? Quisa? Yeah. Ama cases yale afye Gilbert Pire ali no meanwhile ukukonsoko but Gilbert Pire ali no ali afenama cases yako at the end of the day. Not that Gilbert Pire was not being spoken to. He was being spoken to. He was being spoken to. And the promises were coming up to say things will be okay. Wala mdala. Iyo asoti ya isa. Assault, a police officer I never assaulted. I was convicted. But I didn't commit that crime. But the good magistrate, she was under pressure to convict me. She knew if she let me go, she was going to be in problems. How do you say umuntu at no a medical report? No, the medical report didn't show anything, but it is just for collaboration. Witnesses said they saw her swollen. How can you rely on witnesses who were forced to come to police to come and testify against me? Are those witnesses you can call? These are witnesses. People who work with this police officer. There were no other independent witnesses apart from Bakapokola. There was nothing independent to prove that I assaulted that police officer, because even the medical report didn't prove anything. But I was convicted. But I'm sure the God that lives in that woman, that beautiful woman, she's very beautiful, by the way, a very beautiful magistrate. The God who lives in that beautiful magistrate said, no, okay, you will pay 20,000 kwacha before the end of the day. If you don't pay before the end of the day, you will go in for 9 months. Now, it is 11 hours. Judgment. 11 hours judgment. I'm a bank. If they fine you, you have to go and deposit money in a bank, in a Zanaco bank account. The banks close at 14 hours. And you need to get 20,000 kwacha. My wife started running around to look for that 20,000 kwacha. Valungu heard of it and quickly sent a 20,000 kwacha. That is how I paid and I came out. Now, after Fiapitev, what did UPND do? What did Gilbert Piri do? He goes and appeal. Meanwhile, banasunka nama cases ya mbiuko. Kwali wa kesi ya mutiny, kwali wa cases ya nanikane ya achani atinshio achani inciting mutiny, then kwa sabana seditious practice, seditious intention. If my cases if cool, but what if you pushing? I said, what is this nonsense now? So now, you people who like to say, no, you flip-flop. I flip-flopped. I went to UPND because UPND gave me my cases ifingi. And I didn't get the help that I needed from the PF. And I'm saying this so that Mwishive, because PF. You like, you imagine things. Hey, Balungu. Hey, now I'm paying 500,000 kwacha. Ndem yebe fishinka pa Mwishive. How was I supposed? How could I fight? I couldn't fight. I was let down. I was let down by the PF. And the PF in Gabali umfuide. Ne fifi abupuefi akwa mao sampa. Wouldn't have been there. It wouldn't have been there. If Balungu had come out at the time when I was saying, Balungu come out. If Mao Sampa wouldn't have done what the nonsense that he has done. By today, Vaedi Galungu Ngabawa mu State House in Demie. Because il y a campagne toi Michel Iliam Dala. Il y a campagne il y a. Na Michel by today. Balungu Ngabawa mu State House. Church ngali butuka mu State House kwati nikoswe. Ngali butuka mu kwati nikoswe mdala. Pantu il y a aikwata fait support alanga ngali butuka. So that is what made me go to UPND. Then UPND stabbed me. They stabbed me in the back. I gave myself, but they couldn't embrace me. So UPND muleke. It's not me. It is your foolish leaders. It is your foolish leaders who could not, embrace me. And nimpe na nde michtakantu. Ngamulefika kwa 2026. Ngamulefika kwa 2026. Mule tolo wapona. Nde michtakantu elo nshila tampa nde isa nshila tampa ba UPND mwala mona ichallenge nsoko kwa tikano kukwata bokos mwala chimona I gave myself into your hands. Like somebody said that you have created a monster. By UPND, you have created a monster in me. I gave myself to you. Naipera. Naipera. Kwati riule barefo kudia apabulo rupia. Naipera kuri imwe. But ubupu wa bwenu. Ba Gilbert Piri. Ime mune mwana kwati mwalisa mbirira mwalishota pati nefo muji. Mule chimuna elo iwe Gilbert Piri ama DPP wonsa half mako mutembo nchito. I didn't agree totally. It was nonsense. I didn't agree. Uyuntu ankane siyuni. I didn't agree, but mutembo nchito I have no issue with mutembo nchito. He was just doing a job. Siyuni was one of those people who was pushing her ama cases muli balungu, but whatever was happening I didn't agree. I fought for Siyuni. But you were Gilbert Piri. When the time will come, I will be one of those people that will launch a complaint against you. Whether it will be malicious or whatever, you are a useless guy. Who shitasha. Tautasha. Tautasha. Me, I stood by you. I stood by you. If ero ngana imino muntu fira pangika mdala. Fira pangika. I've got influence nangu musaba ilati yo tayali shanja. Ngana kuimina fie. Fira pangika. Epo na ikata para moneka tayali ya ikata puapo. Ngana ikata periash. Nangu niva sorochi muteka nyefi. Nde chitafe sparing inishirivo kulanda sana pantu. Na ine palasti kutu wasanga chan. But otherwise, so launchinga ninku imishaka ntu wenomba. Nde kucharira, ndera ndami command. Nde kushamu pantu na inendi mwaume. Mwaume tali ngoku imino mwaume munankwe sana. Kuiweramu. So, nde kushamu, but inga ninku imina. So, iwe Gilbert Piri. Twakula pitamu. Ningishiba mulemfwa. If indela ndapa so mulemfwa. But mube pelefe, you won't get me. Instead, it's you I'm going to get. And I'm telling you, I'm promising you, it's you I'm going to get. Mwali tumpasan. I gave myself to you. So anyway, my brother, now we katafia power soft. I'm just telling you why I came back to my UPND. And they have come full throttle. They came with full throttle. Ukuya mungando, ukuya mukula, ukutowa ulo kwa ningande yabo. Ukuya toba ule, you steal things, you get things. Who is going to give me back those things that you took? And some of you, you have mwalishwenganda and Beyonce. Mwalishwa na mubedi opo ndala shani ingando kuisaba inside and out mwa isalula. Allah. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay, but I always pray that I don't have to be vengeful. And I know some of you police officers, you are bloody cowards. Some of you police officers, you are bloody cowards. You know that what is happening is the wrong thing, but you can't do anything. Muletina. But it's okay. It's okay. I do understand you. I will be in government, but I will not come for you. So basically, that is why I changed. Now, so what is my agenda now? My agenda now, haka inde ichirema afuiro kuya. That is my agenda. Haka inde ichirema afuiro kuya. Afuiro kuya. No afuiro kuya panto na afirwa. Na afirwa. Echo afuiro kuila. Ero na kwata, he's using the state insurance. Echo mpatire sana inaka inde ichirema. I'm not even pretending. Echo mpatire haka inde ichirema because he's using the state institutions. Instead of using himself, he's using state institutions. He's destroying Wakapokola. He's destroying our courts. He's destroying parliament. So where are we? Where are we? What has remained of us? If a president messes up the police, messes up the courts, messes up parliament, what has remained? Don't even talk about parastatos. Nama parastato yonse abikire ko abantu bako bakandire. So where is our country remaining? Ama mines ale ishtisha. I will talk about these things. Hakainde Ichirema is buying those mines. He's getting those mines. I told you that you muntoya akawera nanikane full throttle to privatize the country. Hakainde Ichirema doesn't even care whether he's going to win ama elections in 2026 because he's going to make sure that the economy of the country is in his hands. Whoever is going to take over, he has to make sure that he liberates Zambia from Hakainde Ichirema, because Hakainde Ichirema, the same way that he did privatization, that is what he's doing. Anyway, I'm responding to your answers. I'm responding to your question, why I moved away. Now, let me talk about Sean Tembo. And in there, whatever. Bahet Kalungu balikwatama weaknesses yabo. And even if in there and paso, you are able to pick the weaknesses. PF is where it is today because of Bahet Galungu. If Bahet Galungu had come out at the right time, the situation wouldn't be the way it is. If Bahet Galungu had come out at that time when the iron was hot, if he had come out, the situation wouldn't be where it is. Bahet Galungu, body was slow mku pushing into. And that is his character anyway. To alipusana inena Bahet Galungu na tupusana. Inena aliwa fast mdara. Na aliwa fast kirikiti sometimes ndafuma na offside. Of course, everything has got its positive side. Balungu baliwa slow, inena aliwa fast. But wasangati muli fast yandi sometimes ndafuma offside. Na fipenya. Balungu baliwa slow. Muli slowness yabo nabo. There is something that is good. When he makes a decision, it is a good decision, but sometimes it's too slow, such that he allows the foolishness of people of Mao Sampa to manifest. You see the difference? He's slow, and in his slowness, sometimes, yes, it's good. He handles things carefully. But sometimes he's too slow, such that he allows foolishness to happen. Like the foolishness which was happening when Bahet Galungu was in State House. Bahet Galungu, when he was in State House, people talk about the corruption. Tamatara umfapo umuntu umo uwalumbula Bahet Galungu in corruption. People used the presidency ya Bahet Galungu to do a lot of stupid things. Avena Kaiza Zulu, Avena Amos Chanda. They did a lot of stupid things in the name of the presidency. And that is a weakness. Now, in spite of these weaknesses, and in there and I'm telling you the truthfully, in spite of these weaknesses, when you look around today, I'm telling you, we don't have anybody better to lead Zambia after Hakainde Ichirema. We don't have. We don't have anybody better to lead Zambia after Hakainde Hichilema than Edgar Lungu. Ababonse balesa bayira ba Sean Tembo. I mean, Sean Tembo, even if try me in my elections, in Sean Tembo, he wouldn't even get 20% of the votes that I can get. So I want to say vaiche politically vaiche. I'm also a president of a political party, and I also want to become a president. Why am I not saying let me be the president? Why? Because I can also start doing that. Hello, I can do it, and I can do it much better than any of these politicians that are talking in the country. I can do much better. Why is it that I am saying let Balungu lead? And I'm not even putting myself Kuliba hook and whatever. I'm speaking independently. I'm speaking my mind. Ndemiyewe Chishinka. At the moment, in spite of the weaknesses of Balungu, which I have even suffered from myself. I suffered, out of the weaknesses of Edgar Lungu, I suffered. But in spite of those weaknesses, we don't have any better person to lead Zambia than Edgar Lungu. The next person that comes close, Kuliba Lungu, is Brani Mundubi. That's the next person who comes close, Kuliba Lungu. It's Brani Mundubi. But Brani Mundubi doesn't have the experience that Balungu has. I want to give you now why I am saying that Balungu is the best person. Number one, experience is the best teacher. Balungu, na wasambilila pali experience ya na batola mokamo. Na batola mokamo Balungu. If Balungu comes back as president, then never he will not be the same. He will not be the same. Na batola mokamo na wasambilila. Because paja bali pa crowd 9. Bali mfafye we. Nomba na bashiningisha na bamona to abantu balafulula. Ngata wasendere wino balafulula. Balungu na wasambilila. Balungu ko bachafira wale bachita ukisa na mananikane nama grinder. You think he likes that? Look how he has been humiliated. Look how he has been reduced. He goes pananikane pale before headquarters. He comes up with phones and say, no. Go to Central Police. Na basambili na batola mukamonde mieva. And that experience ya Balungu tapali uyikwete. Na HH na ena ngafu mapo akaikwata ile experience. But you see, some people say, wise people say that wise people learn from the experience of others, but the foolish ones learn from their own experience. But HH, instead of learning from the experience Yaba Lungu, he's not learning. But he will face it very soon. So, Ndemiyewe Chishinka, I'm not saying this for anything or whatever. Ndemiyewe Chishinka, Balungu is the best person. Me have my weaknesses yawo. Me, I suffered during the time of Balungu. I campaigned against Balungu in 2021. I campaigned against him because Vaishire 3 months before the elections, Vanjikat. And they were busy, they were determined to send me to prison. And when I came out, I said, no, it won't happen. I'm not going to prison. And the only way I was going to survive is to make sure that Balungu wapona and Bali ponene. But to replace by HH, the best bet we have is by Edgar Lungu. And one of the first things is that Nabakwata experience. Balungu will not be the same. Then I Sean Tembo that no, finish bakesa chita ukwa bulantuanika. Sean Tembo, these are they are political infants. They are political infants, political teenagers. Because my politics na mwena mfumo wa vipira. Nga wamona kwa tulela nda wantu wale kumfwa, wamona kwa titua nda vifilifions. Charlie Shupa to be president. Charlie Shupa. Balungu tabale isa mkobati finch of bagesa chitevu tabati tile. No. He's coming to stabilize the country. We need somebody who can stabilize the country. There is a lot of mess, and we need somebody who can stabilize, somebody mature. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of why we need somebody mature like Valungu. Why we need somebody mature like Valungu. You see, VHH now it's that divide chalo. VHH has created hatred among us Zambians. A lot of Zambians very few of Yokulanda, but they have inhibited hatred, especially on these tribal or regional, on regionalism, tribalism and regionalism. But abantu very few of Yokulanda, musivu service, there muli division, muli wakapokola, muli division, ikulu. In the country, no mbango wa monafio nanikane. I went to open a bank account. I went to open a bank account with one of these stupid banks at China, Stanbic. I give everything, and they tell me no, go and bring Inshi. Go and bring at the source of your income. I go and print my statement, my personal statement, bank statement, not one. At no, therefore from a business. I was upset. And looking just at the name, when I saw the name, I felt like it's because of this person. You see? But then, when I sat back, I said, no, this might just be a bank policy. It's not this person. But because of the name, I associated the foolishness of that bank because it's foolish. It's really foolish. Stanbic is one of the stupid banks. One of the stupid banks, a foolish bank. It's a foolish bank, Stanbic. It's stupid to ask people to go and show us the source of whatever. I'm opening a company which doesn't even need capital. I don't need capital. I don't need money to open the business that I opened. Malata as an agent. A person pays me money. I go and buy a malata na kupera. Do I need anything? But then this stupid bank is telling me, go and bring a source of money. I am opening a business so that I can make money. So how can this stupid bank be asking me, you are a stupid bank. But anyway, the point is that because of the woman who was the name which was there, I felt like if you want to you see? But then I say, well, and surely, I am doing a lot to resist to look at names. But a lot of people are looking at names now. We are now looking at names. Something that was not there in the past. The fortunate thing is that I've got a lot of friends. Most of my friends, they are from Southern Province. Most of my friends, they are from Southern Province. A lot of them, they are from Southern Province. Even my confidence, the people that I tell my secrets and whatever, they are from Southern Province. So I know that it's not everybody from Southern Province or from whatever. Now Yui, I don't think Yui looks at me as a Bemba. Me and Yui, I think we are cool. Me and Yui, I think we are cool. In Chilufya, Yui, not what Shupa. And he has to protect that job. That's why he can be hard on me. But really, I know, Yui, wherever he is, he knows deep down his heart to say, no, that guy is okay. We are okay. So, unfortunately, but this is there. This is there. So you need a leader that will not come to say, now twice, tualami fulula. You see? If we get a leader like that one, at number twice, tualami fulula, the country will be more divided. Because that kind of a leader, like I know one member of parliament, who are win my elections, Upnd, ikakwata convention, ikavera kumalole. There's one friend of mine, he's an MP. He was saying that ikavera convention, here Upnd, to remove whoever will be president, taking over, speaking from what Mao Sampa has done. At Inenka Itwala Kuna Northern Province, Eka convention, yeah, Upnd, Ukufmiapo Haka in the Ichirem. But you see, that can be terrible for our country. So we need a person who got the temperament ya Valungu. Because Valungu, in spite of him coming from Eastern Province and whatever, you cannot accuse Valungu of tribalism. Valungu, yes, tribalism has been there. Arabi was accused of tribalism. Sata was accused of tribalism. Mwanawasa was accused of tribalism. Valungu is the only president that was not accused of tribalism. And indeed, he has got that temperament that can unify the country. So we need a president that can unify the country. Valungu suits that characteristics. He suits that characteristic whereby because Valungu no, at least he's like that. So we need a person like Valungu for that, to unite the country. We need somebody that is mature to unite the country, not uli overzealous squat ninevo. Nganiwa shon tembo west. Nganiwa shon tembo west. So really, Vashon Tembo, I mean, let him just sit down. Let him just sit down. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. If not Edgar Lungu, then who? Then who? Because those, they don't even come close. Nangwai meaning they don't even come. Who? So Lungu at the moment is good. At least he can unify the country. The other issue, Lungu alikuwa toluse. Things are so bad Muzambia because Wakainde Ichilema tabakwa toluse kuma Zambians. Hakainde Ichilema is a capitalist. He is a cold-blooded capitalist. Ala ila tona no kutona capitalist mdaranga ngalenda. Ichibe chako afuka ni capitalism. He doesn't care about human beings. He doesn't. As long as he's making money, that's it. But Valungu is a good person. He's a good person. And I can give you an example because me, I back up my position, my points. The issue of IMF, Valungu, the Western countries. The Western countries hated Valungu because of two things. The way he was coming out, Paligeism, actually three things. The way he was coming out, Paligeism, because Valungu was unequivocally, he was just coming out very clear on gayism. No, I don't want this. Then number two, IMF, he clearly told IMF they can be. We will manage. And the Western community were not okay. And then number three, he embraced the Chinese. These are the three things that made him to be hated by the Western communities. So, but these things that he did them for Zambia. Gayism, it's because Zambians believe in this. In terms of IMF, he knew that this suffering that is currently going on will come to Zambians if I agree with the IMF conditions. HH has accepted, and look how we are suffering now. So at least Valungu has got that heart. And we need that kind of a leader who can be able to slow down in implementing some of these policies and find other ways of surviving. Valungu ni bala wakwati uliomufyashi uliomwisha okay tola takoso okay chiteko tumadiru okay shan efo wa Valungu. So at least we need him. We need that kind of thing. Then what about the weaknesses? What about the weaknesses? Like somebody has said, Valungu na vena whatever, yes, he has got a problem. Somebody was saying that. It's true. What about the weaknesses? Ayama weaknesses ya Valungu. That's why some of us now, we have to make sure that we are part of government. I don't think Valungu will leave me out of government. I don't think, and I want to be very close to him. I want to be very, very close to him. And I can assure you that I will not mince my words. So we will support Valungu by making sure that he does the right thing. Because me, I will definitely be Mubuteko wa Valungu. And I want to be very close. Close, like I don't even want to chance. I want to be close. And even if Panopene, I'm practicing now. Ndela ndama weaknesses ya Valungu, not that in Chilandana. Ndemye chinga, I talk kuri Valungu, I talk to Lalanda. but he will tell you, I don't miss my words. What I don't agree, I don't agree. I do. Napanopenenderanda publicly. Ndelanda. He has helped me. He's the one that paid 20,000 kwacha. Even when I was when I'm out, he sent money to my wife. It's true. He's helping me. But I'm not going to be a praise singer, to be a yes bwana, no. That's why I'm talking about the weaknesses. And one thing that I've appreciated of Banyu Lungu, Nanguningalanda Finoshan Pama weaknesses, Balungu still will call me and we'll still have a conversation. So that is something new. That is something new. Balungu, people that he could not talk to before, he's talking to them. He's talking to them. Once that there are a lot of people that messed up Lungu. But now I issue of it. There are a lot of people that messed up Lungu. Some of them called him corrupt, some shan. But Lungu is talking to them. So this is a new Lungu. This is a new Lungu. So from my point of view, I mean, we are still young. We are still growing. Our time will come. What I can just say to all these other politicians, Avena Kasondemwenda, Avena Nankane, Sean Tembo, relax. Relax. Our time will come. Our time will come. Let us relax. Let us give chance to this man. Let him come, put the country in order, put the country back on track, and then we can come back in and do our politics. We need Balungu, and one of the things that we need to do, number one, is to unite Zambia. We need a leader that is going to unite Zambia. Number two, we need a leader that is going to work on the constitution such that we remove some of these issues which make the political landscape unfavorable for others. So we need to sort it out. That can only be sorted out through the constitution. And Balungu can come and help with that. And he has got only 5 years. So he's the best person, not to go to Kabikapo 10 years. Balungu only 5 years. After 5 years, we can open the floodgates now. And we do our politics. So let us have Balungu Bane. That is my issue. And really, for the democracy, it's better we have somebody that has got experience. Na londolo la sana. You can call in. You can start calling in again and give me ama questions. Na landa sana inshallah ndesana pama questions which will come, which will follow up. So you can call. The number that you are calling is 0763 302207. 0763 302207. You can call and make your comments. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Amdal. Amdal, I think this time around you've got it all wrong. You see, this thing of thinking with emotions is not going to help you in any way. Because from my analysis, I think what is happening right now is that you are just frustrated, and then you are worried about the crimes that you committed in the...
You haven't committed a crime, Kabio Konakani, if you have a Allah committed crimes. Allah, which crime have I committed? Allah, that committed cases you have committed. If you have Allah, committed, not committed a crime. You think I'm happy to be here? Hello? Mulanda win at committed. Committed what crimes? What crimes have I committed? Allah, Kutumpo. Which crimes have I committed? Which crimes have I committed? Telling your haka in the Ichimoko at Nafra is a crime. What crimes have I committed? You accuse me at inciting Ama soldiers. Mwakano forest Ama soldiers. Naranda party forest Ama soldiers at you are inciting soldiers. And you are correct some kunjabati which cases you have committed. Allah okutumpa. Hello?
Hello, my future president of the Republic of Zambia.
Good evening.
Good evening, Daddy. the future president of Zambia, but tayali lesa kupale ndume yani. Alachino mulimo levo mbalesa kupale mwani. Pantu ichimwase ndere sakali ya mitena. One time nalila njilepo na imwe. Na chimona mbiro kumikonka. Siaka leso na wantoro bale mishiba. This is the way you've been. And nothing has ever changed from you. That's the way you are. Kale pe mwa base fifi inefeta muchinja kano pia bale never pressing aba elo bale mimona kio batutataji bayo, but that's the way you are. You always call a spade, and may the good God Almighty be so. Last week I learned something from you, just that I was busy, I was at work. You said something that triggered into my mind, whereby you said abantu ngakwa konka fyo kumona fyo aba kate fyongo. Kwaji kolo watu minefoni wakwete invalidation and you contact. Aba kwate fyongo mzambia mnyupa Upnd. Then vesa mkundeka ba PF nga batendeka ba PF kwa be fyongo. And for sure it's true. I've seen many times whereby ba PF wale tina mofide. Then ababa Upnd wale isana mabwe wale samkutendeka ba nabo. And continue, and may the Holy Spirit continue protecting you and shield you. And I declare and decree that no weapon of the enemy fashioned against your life and your marriage and your family, it will never prosper. And every tongue of the devil that shall raise against you, it will never prosper. In the name of Jesus Christ. And you will not go to jail. God is with you. I read Isaiah 54 verse 17. May God be with you, my dear brother. God bless you, my dear brother. Amen.
Natotela. Thank you.
I love you so much, my dear brother.
Thank you. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello.
Te watch to my first team.
It's 2 minutes for.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
Ule miyema kafia makrezi. Abantu aba nibachumbu mwencholo lwaka. Bale tina pefi nshingwa. Chinshingwa bale tina. Chimbezo ndifo kuranda analyst aba mwacha pali barungu. Efo chifuyo kuwa mkaramba wandi. Elo iwe, taula ndilo mwenzo. You can tell barungu nga barufyanya. Ulabeba chishinka. Ero balungu ero balebwela balesa sta embrace ama youths mu leadership bantu batambire ko sta embrace ama youths epo mukabana imo batayali kutina faisha wa information minister Chilufya tayali
njire kwa propaganda ndefwa njire kwa umfwa njire kwa propaganda yakwa tingalelepo ndefwa umuno muna balungu umuna balungu so that ingafyabi twalanda not ifyabu fifya bakainde ichilem shan shifrekwa ike efo tukala abantu efo tuwachita efo ndefo ya ine efo tukala ya abantu efo tukachita ngafyafirikwa tufiro kuchita resign ngafyafirikwa
ivyo mwachira ndabatayali panuse nibanga abantu abali nabo abayile babwela nungu ali nabo
sana
ekikankale tuchine chakwebati akeza chita impresi chalo ukuchwesha pamo no TV division
awe
kuli division ikala
sana tulefira vyokulanda abantu balefira okulanda
ifo tulalanda bakapokola tulalanda banani fo batwe bafingi so natotera mukalamba wanji
emkwai chisuma I'm telling you, but anyway, let me just I'll talk back about that violence issue. Hello.
Good evening.
Achani ba mkosa.
Mwishani.
Bueno fie namutubutusha mchalo chenu. Twamipere chao mwambo kula tubutusha futi mchalo chesu. Muletubutusha. And what kind of leadership is that? Mliwacha wechawe.
musokoneza mweka na kutama mweka.
Tusokoneza timiuza vazona tusokoneza mweka. Even when we try to work with you, you still whatever. What kind of people are you? Muliwacha wechawe femulea landako anyway.
A guilt person is always afraid.
Takudi if you go na guilt na imwe muli upu bobo mulechita wa mukosa train land then if you manu hapa not if you mulera that guilt if you
it is good that today we put it very clear.
Yes.
You have put it very clear that whatever you are doing there is because Upnd never and didn't embrace your stupidity. You thought you can break the law, then just because you come to the party.
Okay, take let's wait. Fine. You say my stupidity, but fine. Tell me, what law have I broken? Tell me. Landa, Chalo Chile Kumfa, what law have I broken? Answer the question without asking what ningombe iwe. Answer the question. Ndekuipusha, iwe koswe, ndekuipusha. Iwe, ndekuipusha iwe kolwe. Nati, what crime have I committed? Mulifipuba mulea, mulifipuba tamwa kwa tamano, tuamipele chalo kwa timuteke, mwafilo kuteka. Mulifipuba mulea kabioko, get out.
It's Zambian people that voted for this government.
Which Zambian mwali wama votes? Which Zambians? Mwali wama votes. You stop votes. You never won. Tamwaka wine. Mulea, I will come. That is my country. You think that is a ranch? Zambia is not a ranch. Usen you ko free kwesa mulifipuba. Bye. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, President Mukamba na Rob.
Rob, kamba, lero yapya lero Rob. Tikamba yapya bero yapya. Kambako timbere.
Alungu alichebu inokuti ya bwere pampando. Wanga chiteche na vangiru. Manje, navya na temezo kamba last time. Nabara makamba ti ija constitutional court ECZ.
Aha.
Ayutuwa lungu wazaka nkalapo papa.
Wachitabuino kuile tankani yo constitutional court.
Baka pana bakankari panani pa baroti. Ayutuwa balungu wazaka nkalapo pa baroti.
Wachitabuino nizaka mbapo hapo. Wachitabuino maningi. Usaononge na kuononga nizabwela hapo nizakamba. Nizaikamba hapo issue ya constitution. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, my brother. Please go ahead.
President Tayali, musazimu chitatu areti mukosa ama biva mungani mkuku ya mene wajua mutu alibe direction jumpira huko
mwana ni democracy na even ni kukamba naye so chabe ta exchange so it's okay kamba naye
Afrika mayona watari Afrika buya na mafacts mukosa ngata buya pali program. I remember one day mukosa wa Fred membe wenze ku OTFM anawachita accused na tribal remarks. Pizza anamfunza bale mwampunsa soche pizza anamfunza mukosa ustasheti ma claims ya ukamba anamba imwe simamvera wa Fred membe simamvera wa Fred membe amangala libevo kamba anyway so wamba wachaji member of parliament Okshamombo ankara mamanzi so 6 months sabwe parliament adwala are hospitalized
ati uyunani kane muwikai
so why just city so far why swap na kuchita monga wanashita hapo malole
kuchita petition
that's why that last time tezokuza anti constitution ya Zambia wanashita remove wanashita suspend because these people they don't respect Zambian constitution. Why were Zambian constitution there exactly wankali pamene walili but those people they don't even respect it at all.
Yeah.
Just be careful just be careful with these people. Why of fear?
No, God.
Just be very much careful, my brother.
God is with me. Thank you, my brother. Hello? Hello?
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You are one man in three men. Actually, Ngawakuchipata is one tayali is equal to maybe 15 Sean Temples. Just one tayali is equal to 15 Sean Temples, because Sean Temple is it's the same WhatsApp group with Mao Sampa. No different at all. No one should take him serious. And I also like the way you've analyzed our former president, Edgar Chagwalungu. That man has a weight of wisdom. And his action is always calculated. And sometimes people mistake him for being too slow.
Yeah, it's true.
But when he make a decision, is someone who is maybe 3-5 months ahead of someone. And remember, that is a best criminal lawyer we have in Zambia. There is no way under the sun a best criminal lawyer in Zambia can be dumb.
You know?
You see? So, and then also he's so wise because he knows that his action can harm certain people. And also can create a lot of confusion. So he carry himself with the wet thinking of Zambians. But our president, the current president right now, every time he opens the mouth, I always see that the lie is about to come out. Is just about to lie. And that's the fact. And when we say when that minister or that MP said the president should stop lying, it's true. The president should stop lying because he's a number one citizen in the country. Every leader must be honest. You see? Now again, and every citizen is a defender, including you. Is supposed to defend you. But now look where you are. Just fighting for me and you. So the best you can do, Mr. Tayali, continue repeating that number whereby even if I have ka 20 kwacha or ka 30 kwacha or ka 100 kwacha or 300 kwacha, everyone knows that number to deposit because the work you are doing is a lot.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Whereby you move around, wadawati, ka 500. How do these things go? At least when you put something muli tayari, you know that at least I've done something for the nation. Because now, untungwa tulelwa kuma Zambia naba nenso ave suma Zambians. That's why we are fighting for independence.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tayali. I really appreciate.
Thank you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
What tayari?
Hey. Eni.
Mulibuti.
Kabotu musa. Mulibuti.
Maria.
Mbowo.
Tamam. Tayari, hivyo tulefo kuranda po. Batayari, ifwe na tumfo ifwe muliranda, turakonga sana. Pardon, ifwe tatuwa Muzambia, like it's unfortunately tatuwa Muzambia. Omo, tuwasamu ya kuma Europe huko. Mwe
mfumu, otherwise, if you're Mureranda, if you're Fiamano, if you're Rolamo, to be honest with you, like, how can someone, okay, he promised a lot, like, okay, I don't want to argue about whatever the situation, whatever is happening there, but all I know is that I'm concerned of the cost of the living and stuff. Free education. We have got siblings, I've got family there, I've got mom and all alike, I've got sisters and brothers. And then they are talking about the free education. That free education, my two young sisters, they were enrolled like in schools. They did grade 9 and they passed. And then they had to redo 1 or 2 subjects. Like one had to do 1 or 2 subjects. And then I was told to say I need to pay the school fees, of which they told me to say I need to pay 1,000 each. And then also they told me to say no, I need to pay examination fee, of which is going to cost, like, if they need to redo to redo 2 subjects, they need to pay 50 kwacha each per subject. And then I was surprised to say, okay, they say free education. Where is free education?
Yeah. No.
Talking about this, the democratic space and stuff, all those things, like, we are here to see, we are watching, we see whatever happens in Zambia, we see everything. And then they want to bribe and maybe blanchard us to say, no, there is democratic space in Zambia. Which one? Which democratic space? We can see people are running around everywhere. Every time he's going to court, every time he's doing this, everyone is being arrested each and every time. Ubunga, we don't import maize, but we are buying it at a cost of 300 plus, which is it's nonsense. It's not making sense.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
You know what you are saying about Mr. Rungu is very, 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 very making sense. Very making sense. Like, if they say no, one has to come and vote, maybe I'll just throw over and then I come and give him a vote.
No, you should. You should. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Indeed. And this is the issue. This is the issue, including those of you who are outside Zambia. This fight, it's time that we come together and fight. It's time together we liberate our country. We need to liberate our country. We need to liberate our country from people like Avena Mukosha. We need to liberate this country. We need to liberate it. And my sister from, I don't know, German, she talked about this issue of violence. UPND, the weakness here by PF, they were not able to hit back with propaganda. UPND ran a serious propaganda, and they are still doing it. Hakainde Hichilema being the chief propagandist. They ran a propaganda that PF was so corrupt, but they are in power. Na Gilbert Piri were biased, DPP were biased. DPP tafilo kuwa biased, but Gilbert Piri ni kada. DPP who are kada, very emotional and really acting as a politician. But they have failed to get corruption cases into court. There are no corruption cases against by PF. Gilbert Piri has failed to prove one corruption case. One corruption case they have failed to prove. Because even in Antoine Kane case yakwa Katanga, it didn't even make sense. Umuntu apoka loan, ashtama buses at no proceed of crime. Show us how did she abuse the whatever. Ama cases valeleta makoti. Tapari ama cases. There is no case of corruption here mano that here is a corruption case. Na kesi ya kwa malanji. Hadi vile 4.6 mwa that hadi vile 4.6. Tapawa na ngumu wala ndia tibali mwenepo na mfe $1, $100 tapawa na ngumu. Wanse basaba ilafe. Tuwalishi muna. Chifulu kutu. Muli plastiki. walishi mwone ndalama nothing umuntu kuti bamuka kefyo unless major state ali compromise but ngatali pe compromise ile case ya kwa Malandi it's dead once wadabalesa baira. Hey, I've got 3. I read the report. You read the report. Who wrote the report? Shan. So it's not you. No, it's not. How can that be a case? Uyoka mpyongo. Hey, hali vendarama. Hey, shan. Mwayachita inflate ama figures. Kuti mwalanda ti shan. Oka nango na kwa taweni amanda. Show us upwa ivirendarama. Wali ministry. Indarama shalirwa ministry. Nothing. And yet, HH was singing corruption. There was corruption. Which corruption? You have failed one case. Other than the pandemic. Irendeke nkashtisha. Shtisha kaidi, nishta wa shtisha. Mwewe karacha. You know, you like to do. Some of you were praise singers. Katwishwadi mishindaula. You are indoctrinated. I ask you, what was HH saying pandeke? What was HH saying pandeke? Nishtashtisha lelo. Irendeke ide. Nishtashtisha. And that Indeke has been flying, if you don't know. Indeke tawa parking of. Indeke has been flying. It flies who? Where does it go? Indeke ila nomba bala iwomfya kuma diru. Aba nanko wakwa HH balaba lesa mukui ba ama minerals Muzambia. Eba le iwomfya Indeke. You checking ama data shan. You find it. Indeke has been flying. The question is, who does it fly? HH takwera mo bati oy senda niba nani bala iwomfya kuma diru tashtisha Ndeke ilia ale batakashtisha fish mwingalanda ati yo HH yo tayali you are being emotional te fishing kefi mushema emotions Ndeke tawaye vela tubakashtisha baya vela tubakashtisha wafrosha nukushtisha nishta washtisha kaidi Ndeke barungu bali vile nishta washtisha to recover the money. Why? And it is flying who? It has been flying. Indeke tawa parking Ndeke. It has been flying. So it flies. Who does it fly? But there was corruption. PF is corrupt. Very loud. Next, it's this issue of violence. Even today you are talking about, hey, UPND has maimed and killed more people than PF. UPND has maimed more people in Zambia than PF. UPND was violent even during the time of MMD. Mapatisa formula, when was it formed? Was it formed during PF? It was the time of Panga. Who introduced Pangas? It is UPND who introduced Pangas into the political scene. It is UPND, not PF. And they introduced Amapangas during the time of MMD. PF was not even getting involved. Sata, by that time, Sata was the leader. He was not even getting involved. But violence was being seen between PF and UPND, or UPND and MMD by that time. PF was not getting involved. And yet it was the second biggest political party, but it was not involved in violence. Then PF came into power, but they started fighting with MMD, with UPND. UPND is ever later violence. Kuchwa Southern Province, nanunga Southern Province mkuchita campaign. Kuchwa Southern Province mkuchita campaign. Ule ya Southern Province mkuchita campaign ni nani? Ama election observers and ama election monitors, they are chased, they are beaten. There is no any other party. There is one party, and we're talking about in Southern Province. It's one party. There is no plural democracy. There is no plural democracy there. You can't go there to campaign. You can't. In Southern Province, it's one party. It's dictatorship. But we allow them. Eastern Panankane, pa Youth Day. Pa Youth Day, UPND took Ama Youth and they started beating Abantu Eastern Province. If PF was violent, a lot of people would have died there. Because UPND took people there. So even when you're talking about, no, it's you who has been killing people. We can count how many people who have been killed. Look, remember about Kanyama. Those people who were killed in Kanyama. Remember how they killed Kungo. You have been killing people brutally. In a very brutal manner, you have been killing people. UPND is the worst violent political party. Not MM, not PF. But HH uses that. But violence it's him who's violent na political party. Allah. Oh, then this issue of the constitution. At Edgar Lungu will stand in 2020 whenever there will be elections, because elections might even come earlier. Edgar Lungu is going to contest elections. There are not two ways about it. There are not two ways about it. It is actually utter foolishness to even think that, you know, a matter which was closed can go back to the Concord. I know they are scheming that, especially that they have that Munarula as president of the Constitutional Court, a very compromised judge, very compromised woman. That one, she's a cadre. She's a tribalist. That woman, right? Baba kwati pali bako chimofie, kwati bali kwatako fe chimofie. Kwati pali bafe chimofie, bali upo bana bamunarula bali. Because takwa mwana kashiwa mguwa wafiri wao mumutima. Uku mumutima kwati mulonge. Bakanike pana nikane. Womike kuntua nikane kumuliro. So, it won't work. It won't work because the Constitutional Court itself pronounced itself on that. Whether Munarula agreed with it or not, they ruled. They ruled. Majority ruled that Edgar Lungu qualifies. And that's how Edgar Lungu stood for elections in 2021. He stood for elections in 2021. So if the Constitutional Court is going to change because Munarula is in charge, because HH is whipping, like those inexperienced judges that they have brought in Constitutional Court, because Constitutional Court needed experienced lawyers with a number of years at the bar practicing, not these people from the kitchen. Constitutional Court, from the kitchen, just because yes, somebody did the law, but he was busy doing a commercial law. Constitutional Court. They are raw, but all that it was done to manipulate, you know, the Constitutional Court, to compromise the Constitutional Court. And if they are foolish to rule that no, Edgar Lungu does not qualify, then they are actually nullifying the elections of HH. Because according to the Constitution, if one person, and the Kudama elections, if one of those people, one of the candidates, does not qualify, is illegal, that election is illegal or completely. So if Edgar Lungu is ruled illegal now, it means that he was an illegal candidate in the 2021 general elections. And if he was illegal in the 2021 general elections, it means that the whole election was null and void, was illegal. It must be cancelled. Then we must go for early elections. So the day they will rule that Edgar Lungu cannot stand, they will be basically nullifying the election of HH, and we would have to go for elections. We would have to go for elections. So some of these things, they just do these things. They are busy rushing to court. Hey, touch the buy Edgar Lungu, touch the buy Edgar Lungu. You go and buy him. You go and buy him. Unless now there is something that has happened where you can say, no, because of this, he cannot qualify. But the status quo of Edgar Lungu is still the same. So, don't be intimidated, not to kutina. Chalo cheso, awate chalo chalo, tukawape peka, if they will not allow Edgar Lungu to be on the ballot, kuwa pepeka, finish tabarefwa democracy. Nishkuwa tamfiafi. Nishkuba tamfiafi. And tatufira no kutina chan kuba tamfiafi. Let us just go and have an election, and we should make sure that we don't allow them to rig. This time around, we should be very vigilant that our elections tabevile. Phone actually it up. Hello?
Chilufya tayari?
Mkwai.
Ndivyo bwino?
Nchili bwino ine.
Mary Matero Sugar.
Shani gero. Iwe, ulishani iwe.
Ndivyo bwino wa Chilufya tayari.
Iwe kwa nisha. Ule ntumina kwa ndalama. Iwe muleli ndalama sha UPND. De umfuati wala kutu. Ativali kubika pasara ya 15 pin. Fo banjeve. Ativali kubika pasara ya 15 pin.
Chilufya tayari mwandini naye muna politics yenu manje yachira mu mwandini. Panda politics yenu yale mulekati ya rupato. Mwamona umuntu ngatamwa mutemwa uchire monekano kumonekano mba.
Iwe matere tekanya iwe Matero Sugar. Iwe Matero Sugar iwe. Iwe niwebo UPND. Iwe niwebo UPND. But understand. Chashu pashan. So ni shurupata ulipesa. Okay, njiwa nyobona apata. Okay, njiwa wona apata, okay.
President yanga inde ichirema.
Okay.
President wa chalo mwamona.
Okay, tekanya Mary Matero Sugar. Ufwa, tekanya, cheturande. Iwe cheturande fabuno kwa tulipa bedi. Ndefwa turanderia shi. Ndefwa turanderia shi wino abantu bale umfwa. Tekanya. Iwe waebati. Na ulanda umfwa. Waebati inena alimpata HH. Ofo walanda teifyo. Number question ndefo kuipusha. Ndefo kukuipusha. Ushe HH ali ntemwa. Iwe Matero Sugar. Ndepi pusha tu seche chadi ntemwa.
Ali mitemwa 100%.
Kui soko. Okay pembela. Walanda bwino. Ata papene nomba walanda ndefo kubombana ba HH. Wamona ile na alilanda tefyo. Ine na alilanda. Nga HH ushalilanda ndefo kubombana tayari. Iwe Matero Sugar iwe ule tekanya ngachako atureba so bakala kulie sorry ya iwe Matero Sugar iwe ngorera ndefu bakala kubepa baume ine mona umwaume wamwe batino umwaume nali mutemwa ndemufuaya ero yo umwaume tasuke pona nguchimo ero kwa isabe mirandu so number okay. Umfwa. So HH alambona ndiwa fake tefyo. Ndekuipusha. So HH alambona ndiwa fake te. Ashuka kaili. Okay. HH alambona ndiwa fake tefyo. Efo walanda tefyo. So na inenda mwana tindiwa fake. So ni 50-50. So chapo tapani umulandi wapo. HH ngala mwana tindiwa fake. Na ine HH na mwana tiwa fake.
Ote mwakumbine kuno nishi. Muto mlela ndilo kwa sisa. Mapantu nganuwa borida. Uvilo kulanda pa open. Ngama kuikatala kubika mchifungo. Bakufunya ngana kwa tomula. Ndilishi na mwichati na mkwa tomula. Ndoto kutukile muno. Mwamona. Mwaela ndati ndesa. Na mulile yotu lelo leta.
Nkesa ero ngana fika nkesa fikira kunganda kumobe. Okese nchina kono kunchina kwa yo wini.
Inenga mwachika na kuna newa nikamika. Tana kumitoa na kubase ozi.
Okesa nchina kono kunchina kwa yo wini. Yobo kamfisa no kumfisa iwe. Aleya na iwe Mary. Aleya. HH. Aleya. But we sakamana. but wisakamana Mary Matero Sugar inenka wamubuteko eche ngaya nkakusungana bwino eche nyinji shiba takusungana bwino but nenkesa kusunga kutina kutumina kona wino untumine kanamba kobe na kutumina kwa ututumine pamwe ndefo untumine na ushara nikota namba yandi ndekankupere namba yandi untumine noti ina iwe umfwa tekanya iwe umfwa Mary Matero Sugar tapali efo ale bomba finsha ale bomba na imwe finsha bombele ba Matero Sugar na imwe finsha bombele finsha bombele finshi na imwe bene mwale abantu na iwe mwale abantu ba UPND mwalipa ya kungo mwalimu ipeye mukasuba katande mono kairi muni mwalika takumakoti mwalika takumakoti that's why
president kulia umuntu ngana muikata ngana mushita investigating ngana kwata mlandu ngama muikata ka 10 hours of punishment ngana kwata mlandu
Mary Matero Sugar batiwe barewera but wisaka mana nkakusunga bwino iwe kutali 12 manka kusunga bwino if you debate lungu takwa tobufi that's why tachira ma debate takwa tobufi nomba uli apekateka wenu wa ufi tabe pobufi lungu tabe pobufi nomba ala kubepa iwe nabali kushindawo no kushindawo tapane fya kutasha hapa tapa no kuchulole echula iwe ule echula Mary Matero Sugar chomutukire ndebutuko bunkalo wakwa echechi ninkalo ule chimuntu ule chali bipo mutima echo mbutukire mu tamwa tekanyeni bane tekanyeni okay le kabalande ko bambi le kabalande ko nara kutuminako wamfwa okay, bye. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yes, how are you, Mr. Tayali?
Fine. How are you?
Good. You see, the problem, what is happening now is that people think that they own Zambia. But the most important thing, every Zambian citizens, just like we will try to oppose you and other people, we must be in a position to understand and say Zambia belongs to everyone. We have got the opinion, we have got to say on the affairs of the country. And what is happening now is that people are afraid to speak out on the affairs of the country because they are afraid of the regime. I wouldn't even tell you my name because I'm also planning to stand, but I'm also afraid of what people will try to start planning so that they keep on blocking other people to be on the ballot paper. But what is important is no one owns Zambia.
Yes.
We had found our forefathers here and we have been born here and others will come after us. And one thing that we have to be very particularly sensitive is immediately HH was sworn into power, people started the agenda to say UPND until 2090. Little we did not know that this was an agenda to try and nullify each and every constituency where they would now start putting their people and have the majority in parliament so that they are able to manipulate and change the constitution and then we go back to one-party state in the Kaunda's regime. We didn't pay attention when people started talking like this. And now things are manifesting. Each and every opportunity where they should have just a chance to remove someone from the seat, manipulate it, go for by-election and put their own people. This is what they are targeting. That's why you see ECZ and these other government arms, they have removed the people who are supposed to save the constitution with their heart. They have put their people that they can manipulate. This is what is dangerous at the moment. Where your opinion and other people's opinion are not supposed to be taken into consideration, but what they say. If you look at the woman just from Lusaka, the one who was caught, we are talking about giving us a direction. Today you come and write to me. Tomorrow, instead of you being remorseful of the right and giving me an opportunity that you are going to correct what you messed up and you are going to take this direction, again you will come and give me another right. It is not giving direction to the country. Me, I used to tell people in my house to say, you know, I am not seeing a vision. We have got cadarism, but I'm not seeing a vision of the option people want to put. Today I challenge them to say, okay, fine. We have changed the government, but what have you changed in your life? Me, I get paid in dollars, so if the dollar is high, I'll benefit. But now let's look at what is happening. An ordinary Zambian person who is getting a salary of 6,000, is he able to afford even to buy school shoes, to take the children to school, and able to lend and being in a position to save the little? Nothing. But when you speak about to say, if internafikosa, awe nishi ninsere warapokelela. But PF, they are not insulting. Now, who is insulting?
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Thank you.
We used to say, no, PF, they're insulting. And to be honest, I owe nothing against Chilufya. But I believe as a parent, if I'm embracing people who are insulting women, whether wrong or right, that means I've got the same heart. I am just keeping it, but I will pick an opportunity to find someone who I'm going to pay to go and utter those insults.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Hello?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chilufya.
Good evening.
How are you doing, man?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, I think for me, let me just air my opinion. Because I think what I've noticed is that, sir, you might be a very good public speaker, but unfortunately, you lack political maturity. That's why you are always flip-flopping. There you talk about this topic and support this person. Tomorrow you change. No, this person was wrong. I want to support this one. So I think, the best thing sometimes to do is you just keep quiet and observe.
You just don't like what I'm saying, so you want me to keep quiet. No, I'll be talking and listen. I like what you are saying. I like what you're saying because you're expressing yourself. That is okay.
Yeah.
But so, don't tell me to keep quiet. Let me talk. Those who agree with me, they will agree with me. Those who don't agree with me, they will not agree with me. So, it's okay. Don't agree with me. But please don't ask me to keep quiet. Okay? So, please go ahead. You cannot agree with me. It's okay. I don't mind. But please just don't ask me to keep quiet. So, go ahead.
You know where the problem is?
Yeah.
You can have people that are supporting you here, but trust me, the moment you find yourself in prison, hold on a bit there. I like how you are coming out. The moment I find myself in prison, do you think I have done something wrong that
deserve that warrants me to be in prison?
Personally, I think so.
Okay, good. I like you. I like you. Wait. I like you. Tell me what I've done, which should take me to prison. Tell me.
Number one, I would say inciting tribalism, where you are, I can say you're bringing in division in the country by falsely accusing the president of being a tribalist, of which is not.
Okay, wait a minute. So, from my point of view, I think that Hakainde Hichilema is tribal. Okay? That is what I think, isn't it? And you don't agree with it yourself, isn't it?
I do not agree with it.
So by the fact that that is what I think, that is my opinion, do you think I deserve to go to prison? Do you think that is inciting? By holding my opinion, you don't agree. Wait a minute. You don't agree with me. So have I incited you? You are here, you are not agreeing with me. Have I incited you?
No, you've not incited me because I'm a reasonable person.
Exactly.
But people may take it the other way.
No, I mean, you have your opinion, I have my opinion, and the others who also have their own opinion. And by the way, when I talk about these issues, when I talk about these issues, I back them up. And I can I can give you an example of what I'm talking about. When you look at the appointment of Hakainde Hichilema today, if we run through the appointments of Hakainde Hichilema, who are the majority and where are they coming from? Who are the majority and where are they coming from? Look at, let's run. Look at the Chief Justice. Where is he coming from? Look at the Speaker. Where is she coming from? Go to the ministries. Start running the ministries. Who is at defense? Who is at finance? Who is at information? Start running through. Then go to parastatus. Then go down to the whatever. You will see that Hakainde Hichilema is more biased to one region. And this is my view. And is it wrong? Is it a crime to hold my view? Is it a crime? You don't agree with me. You don't agree with me. Should I take you to prison? If I become president because you don't agree with me, should I take you to prison?
No, the thing is, we cannot point out just a few individuals.
No, I can give you a long list, but the point is that, nonetheless, it's my view. You have a view. You don't agree with me. Now, if I have powers, should I send you to prison? Because you don't agree with me.
The reason why I'm saying that you are likely to go to prison is because your case is not any way different from Shimakamwili's case.
No, I don't even have a case on tribalism. I don't, for that matter. I don't. What I have is mutiny inciting soldiers. Because I spoke about soldiers that you haven't paid soldiers. Is that a crime? Is that a crime?
Anyway.
Is that a crime? Tell me. Soldiers were not paid for 3 months. They were not paid for 3 months. Me, I'm a politician. I offer checks and balances. I talk about it. You work. I'm sure you yourself, you work. If you don't get paid for 3 months, if I talk for you, have I incited you to rise against the president?
But there is a procedure that is supposed to be followed.
Which procedure is talking? And the politician, the only procedure we have as politicians is to talk to people the way I'm talking here. This is the procedure. There's no another procedure. I don't work in government. I'm a politician, opposition political party. Which procedure? And who defines that procedure?
No, anyway, you are Zambian and you've got your rights and freedom of expression. So I was giving you a brother.
So should I go to prison? Since I'm a Zambian and I've got the right to express myself and I'm expressing myself, should I go to prison?
No, what I'm saying is you have to be factual. In as much as we can have freedom.
I'm giving you an example. I spoke about soldiers. They were not paid. And they were not paid for 3 months. It was a fact. And when I spoke about it, did I commit a crime?
Okay, now let me ask you a question as well.
Ask me.
If you have not committed the crime, why have you run away?
Very good. Let me answer. I like that question. Let me answer. You know why I've run away? And I haven't run away. I'm coming back. But nonetheless, the point is, you see, today, it is not about the facts that you bring before court. No, it is not. Our courts are compromised. Our courts are being controlled by those that are in power. So, there is no justice system. Even if you go to court, if those who are in power want you to be convicted, they will convict you. So there is no justice. That is the problem which is there. And I'm sure you can say, give me an example. I can give you an example. My own case, that I assaulted a police officer. When I didn't assault a police officer. But I was convicted for having not committed a crime. So, even the issue that you are talking about to say, you have got other cases, inciting soldiers. Ama soldiers that were for 3 months, na landapo, at you are inciting them. Do you think that case is even supposed to be in court? So that is why we are now scared to go to face to face the judges or to go in court, because it is not about the truth. It's about what Hakainde Hichilema and his friends want. It's about what Gilbert Piri wants. So we don't have what to hold on to. We don't have. We have become vulnerable in our own country. We have become vulnerable. We can't go to courts. That is a problem, Wana.
So now your intention is to seek refuge elsewhere. And
that is a discussion for another day. Hello?
Hello, good evening, Dad.
Good evening.
I was even reaching a peak where I was thinking I'm not going to pick up my calls. I was like, what is that?
It's like, you know, this phone calls, it's like it's a lottery.
It's like, am I calling the right person? Okay, my contribution, I've been following what you've been doing, and I like what you've been doing, and of course I understand why you decided to flee from Zambia. Truly indeed, it is very hard for you today here in Zambia to have a fair trial, because many Zambians might not see this, but our judicial system today has been compromised. And many Zambians are going to say, no, but the fact is, even if you are to be here, you are never going to receive a fair trial. Today, maybe as we are speaking, you would be in prison. Today,
of course.
Speaking, you would have, yes.
Sure.
So it was never a case, it was never an issue. Like, for me, I understand why you opted to do exactly what you did. And in fact, you're in full support. Coming back to the issue at hand with Hakainde Hichilema, the UPND, the PF, and the biggest fear that the UPND has today, ECL. You know, before UPND formed government here in Zambia, we had issues like we had the issues of gassing, we had the issues of markets burning, and UPND by then was in opposition, and they kept on pointing the finger on PF. They're saying, no, PF is the one who's gassing their own citizens, PF is the one who's burning markets and ABCD. Today that the UPND is in power, they're failing to prove the people that were behind gassing, they're failing to prove the people that were behind the burning of markets. Now, it makes one to begin to think and to realize that UPND, initially, they were the one in charge of gassing, they were the one in charge of the burning of markets. Like, the strategy for UPND was to make Zambia ungovernable for PF. They had to make Zambia ungovernable and put the character and the personality of Edgar Lungu in question, making him look like a thug when in fact, Hakainde Hichilema, he himself and the UPND, that is a government of thugs. That is a group of people who are willing to stay in power at any means possible. Any person who speaks against the UPND, any person today who's going to rise and stand against the UPND, I'm telling you, it will be Chilimonga Basha Muliro. And any person who dares to stand against UPND, you have to walk on that fire. And that is your life. And any person who's going to die in the fight against UPND will be like collateral damage. Because Haka in the Hichilema and this team, they are willing to do anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything to stay in power. The only problem is that the people that are supporting UPND, the people that are backing Avena Haka in the Hichilema, it's like, well, so they are too, I don't know, they are too blind for them to see really what is being cooked, what is happening behind their backs. Because what Hakainde Hichilema want to do is just to have a touch on the Zambian constitution. And he believes that if he can begin to change and twist the constitution, UPND, they will stay in power at their own terms. Now, that's not the Zambia. For instance, in 2021, myself, I voted for Hakainde Hichilema. Thank God, it took me 3 days to realize that the man was lying. Because in the 3 days that Hakainde Hichilema became president-elect, he gave a press briefing. In that press briefing, he talked about 2 things, of which when in the same press briefing, he did the contrary. He said he was going to govern with the law. Within the same press briefing, he said he was opening Prime TV. I bet it was Prime TV or Diamond TV that was closed up by PF the time when PF was in power. Now, the way that was able to open Prime TV, he never went through the judicial process. He had to open Prime TV by the word of mouth. When Prime TV or Diamond TV was closed through the judicial process, that tells you that he's just sugarcoating. He wants to say things that he knows that some Zambians out there might want to hear, might want to listen to. And this is what he's been doing. He's been ruling based on propaganda. They have no solutions whatsoever. They have zero solution for the Zambian people. And I'm telling you, they hate anybody who speaks like this. They hate anyone who can just check them up for what they are. They don't like that.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Hello?
Mr. Chilufya.
Hey, ndimwe va last. You are my last caller. Takamba maningi lero. Go ahead.
Uya kaya mwaseweza bwanyi otoma bwanyi.
Bueno.
Osa mbelera wa mgona pandhata.
Yeah.
Hello? Osa mbelera, they don't have direction. Maona mwalini mulungu. What makes thousands obviously, this time no one can vote for UPND. The reason why. So, prophet, mulungu, webana pagapananikan. You remember your video not too much. Now I just have they are regretting for nothing because in that party now they will be jailed. The other problem which I've seen from UPND, they are only considering civil servants, of which like you are police voter.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello, Akateka.
Mkwai.
Hello, Mr. President.
Yes. Are we going to sleep tonight? People keep calling. Hello?
Please, there is no need for you to sleep because you have provided a platform for people to vent out. People are very hungry and they have nowhere they can run to. The judicial system, we all are aware that the people that are there, we cannot get justice. The ECZ, we know the people that are cadres. So Zambia is not safe anymore. I think the time to talk is now, Mr. Tayali. You know, in America, there was a man by the name of Martin Luther King. Even when they killed him, they never killed the vision.
No, we are still talking about him today.
For Zambia, we need people like you, President Tayali. Even when they kill you, the struggle you have started, you will continue to live on. What you are doing is not just for you, but for many people that are not even not yet born. Please, may God protect you. And make sure that Zambia can be able to get to a place where we can trust our institution. Right now, Zambia has got no institution. All the institutions are paralyzed. We have no trust whatsoever in any institution. When you talk of tribalism and nepotism, it's so real. Look at the appointments that are there. Let's give you maybe when you go to, for example, to Minister of Mines, Cadastra, you find that the director is from one region, the PS from one region, the registrar is from one region, the supervisor is from one region. It's very clear. So we must not hide. To change government through the ballot is not a crime. If things are not right, we have the right to change government. And we must never be criminalized to challenge the government that's there. Because during the time of Kaunda, he used to stand with Nawombwe, or with words, no. When you said no, you vote for no change. When you say yes, you said yes with KK. We have gone back to the same time of KK, and we must rise up like the way Chilufya rose against Kaunda, so that we can put things right. Otherwise, as we stand, things are not okay, my brother.
Thank you.
Things are not okay, Mr. President. Things are not okay. No one should lie. Anyone who is condemning you, they are cadres and they are enemies of democracy. They are enemies of the true sovereignty of the Republic of Zambia. Any true Zambian that stands by the soil and the principles and the democracy and the rule of law, we will support what you are standing for. We don't care even if they kill us or they persecute us, but the truth is we need to change government. Even if the room is not there, it's better we change. Whoever we put, we don't care, but we need to change, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. May God bless you wherever you are. May God keep your family. May God do everything possible to make sure that Zambia can have a new government. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I gotta go. Good night. Thank you very much. We have had a good interaction. Tomorrow we'll come again with other topics. Thank you. Good night.